Advice: am I stupid? My wife might think I am. A brief overview. 13 years of dating. I've been married for 8 years. There are no children. My wife and I are both professionals who travel often for business. This time, both my wife and I are going at the same time. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, and she'll be gone for 10 days. My wife is now in the Southwest, while I'm on the East Coast. We have a system in place where the one traveling will contact the other and tell them about their day, how the city is, and what the city's attractions are. On this trip, we did the same thing with each other. She has visited the city I am now in, but none of us has visited her city. So she phones every night and tells me about her employment, what she's doing, and whether she's having fun, going to tourist attractions, etc. She loves the city and wishes we may spend our vacations there in the future. So, everything is normal. My coworker and I have an understanding that if one of us is away, the other will drive by and check on the home on a regular basis. When I phoned him to check in, he seemed perplexed. He claimed to have seen my wife eating supper with another guy in town. Maybe a coworker or something, but she's not supposed to be in our town. I said that she was supposed to be out of town, so I'm perplexed. I asked him to take an early morning drive past the home to check what was going on. So I contacted my wife at the scheduled nighttime hour, and she goes into this big holistic explanation of how the city is ideal for my allergies and our common outdoor activities. She was falling over herself with city superlatives, and I was just sitting there wondering, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't tell anybody what my buddy told me since he said he wasn't sure it was her. Now, he knew her before I did, so I know he knows what she looks like. So I believe he was protecting me in his own way. So he said he spotted the guy's vehicle because he watched him get out of it in the parking lot, go into the restaurant, and sit down next to, not across from, my wife. Who does that at a restaurant booth? My acquaintance went by my home multiple times over several days and saw that during the day, both automobiles are gone, but at night, they are both back. So I phoned her workplace to make sure she wasn't leaving early, and they informed me that she was on travel status until Monday. That's not good. My thoughts are racing and whirling as I try to figure out what she's up to. I'm still on trip till Thursday. So yesterday night, at the appointed hour, she phones me, all cheerful and lovey, saying she can't wait to see me. So she's still telling me she's in her vacation city. I act the fool and go on as if everything is okay. It almost killed me. I get angry whenever I think of her with someone else. Our marriage has been wonderful, I thought. I take her out on many dates. Evenings per week, 3-4 times per week, and I support her hobbies and friends. I can't do anything where I am, so I'm looking for advice before I go home. Update. Thank you to everyone who read and reacted to my previous post. Sorry for not answering sooner, but a lot has happened since my last message. As my friend's evidence grew, my suspicions about my wife's infidelity grew greater. I called my brother and asked if I could use his cabin if I needed it. He told me to go to the cabin, and he would meet me there to discuss the issue. He recently received a divorce settlement that included a villa on the San Juan Islands off the Washington coast. I arrived at the lodge to find my brother and 2 close friends already there. One of my pals is divorcing, and the other is a local divorce/custody attorney. I called my wife and told her I was going to be gone for a week. She stated she was disappointed but understood. I'm sure he was, the shrew. So, after a few days of crying, cursing, drinking, and clearing my head in Puget Sound, I've come up with a strategy. It may be the right move, or it may backfire. I must state that I am very loyal and will stand by anyone close to me unless they betray my confidence and my pals and husband. I have supported her in all her endeavors, from education to family issues to job. Not perfect, but when it comes to commitment, especially in marriage, I believe each spouse should honor their commitments. Despite our many interactions, she has never shown displeasure with me, including both of our hobbies. This is odd because we have similar goals and desires. My judgments are founded on her cheating on me and a coworker. She did, however, cheat on a coworker. I'm hoping her infidelity was more than just cheating with a coworker, just a random thought. So let's get back to work. I was late on our date. Dozing, when I entered, she appeared to be sleeping, with her computer on the bed. By the time I left, the PC was gone. I went to work before she did. When she came down to the kitchen, she noticed a stack of 4 printed emails, tall, from her work contact, topped with my wedding ring. Yes, it was childish, but it felt great to be that childish a little. As promised, I got a call. What is this? She asks. What? The email and ring upset her. Did you check your emails? Yes, but what? She asks. This is my decision, I said. Does this mean you'll lead me? She says. I'm going this way, I say. Great. A phone hang-up was another issue. A landline would have been ideal for her to slam the receiver down, but she wasn't. I'm sorry for everything. Can we talk about it when you get home? She phones an hour later. I'll be staying elsewhere for the time being, I said. What if she never sees you? It's best now, I say. Before she could hang up, I warned her I had copies of all her adultery emails and photographs ready to send to her parents and employer if she went insane. Then a pause. My best buddy, and I have the time to make the best decision for our health and well-being in between articles. I'm staying with a friend who unfortunately lives close by, so I can monitor her if I want, but it's still worrisome. I've changed my mind about her and her family. A committed marriage is unclear in their eyes. Both were twice divorced and cheated. My lawyer is in charge of the legal work that makes lawyers rich. I tease him for being an attorney and earning a fortune. So here's what I expect to face in the near future. After her parents call, her sisters call, her friends calls, and finally her appearance at my job, a restraining order is unnecessary, because she is the most nicest person I have ever met. Her sudden acts have upset me greatly. We've our ups and downs like everyone else, but we always prided ourselves on getting through them. The group meets 3 to 4 times a week and socializes. I'm stumped. I'm presently in treatment for difficulties relating to my marriage and my own health. Anyway, she'll be served next week. That was it. She probably guessed where I lived because my best friend is a divorce lawyer in our city. My buddy had just answered the door. He told her I couldn't come to the door, and she broke down in tears, saying her family was worried about me. They know I'm in town to pick up some mail. I think it's all coming together for her, which she doesn't want. We'll see. Update 1. For reference, here are 2 past posts. I'll start where the last piece ended. I haven't seen her emails or heard from her. In that time, my wife has gone from being a hysterical she-ugly to an emotional slobbering mess. So after gathering enough information to back up she's having an affair hypothesis, I met with my brother and closest friends to choose my life goals. Is it to be true to an unfaithful wife or divorce and refocus on my life goals? After the protracted arguments, I decided to focus on my own goals. Oh, and my choice was based on her recent email and behavior, as well as 2 previous transgressions while married. So the option was not difficult, but the emotional struggle was, so a plan was made. The first stage was to gather all possible proof, contact an attorney, devise a separation plan for joint accounts, find temporary accommodation till moving back in, etc. She can't enter my house. That's a shame. This was all arranged before I called her last night. So I picked a time and place and arrived early to see whether she came alone or if she had support. I called her friends trash, to include sister. Infect and murder everyone they like to attack and destroy. Of course, I call them that affectionately. But she came alone. We start after I greet her, sit down, and watch her sip from a trough of wine. I was ready, she wasn't. She shook, her eyes streamed, and her voice was scratchy. So she just said she was sorry, that it wasn't her fault, that it wasn't my fault, that it wasn't my fault. I went back to my list of questions once she finished. The first query was, why? Answer, she just thought it was funny. Intimidating, accusing, blaming me. I was silent for an hour, although it was only seconds. Is that the sole reason? I did. I mean, he was gorgeous and we were usually together, so I assumed it would be fun. I wasn't going to tell you because, done. Really. I immediately got up and left. The garbage must have been close since they emerged at the restaurant, leaving a slug mucus trail behind them. I didn't get to talk to her about being served or separation plans. I withdrew. I returned to my current location, sat down, drank some Jack Daniels and relaxed. So I suppose the future is fixed. But, wow, I'm looking for more. No is what she's been saying all day to my friend. It's time for the next level. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories.